Why don't we start? And,
Okay.
And Fong, you're on first, so she's got a little of a show for us. So
Yeah, I see. I see you're coordinated there very well. Thank. So welcome to everybody. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, so welcome to everybody here. Thank you so much for joining us for this very special topic on growing your business online with paid advertising. It's something that a lot of people are quite interested in, but they don't really know where to start or the questions to ask to help them with their business to make it more effective. So we're looking forward to this presentation with Mike and Dominique. So just a little bit of housekeeping rules. Please keep your microphones on mute. There is going to be a question and answer period afterwards. There's a chat section on Zoom. You're more than welcome to type in your questions, and Gabby will be, I guess, moderating and asking the questions for you. I'm also very excited to introduce to you our very special sponsor. This is Fong McNeil. She is the owner and founder of Handy Fairies Cleaning here in Greater Kingston. We've gotten to know her a little bit over the past year. Lovely, lovely lady. And you'll love her as you get to know her. She is going to do a quick presentation for us on cleaning tips for everybody this morning. And so thank you so much, Fong, for sharing some of your expertise with us. It'll be very helpful. So take it away, hon.
All right.
oops.
Oops.
Hi, everyone. So actually, I'm technique for nowadays with our new normal. Okay, so like this is how I dress when I go cleaning now with all protection. So to get out of customer house, first is I take out my indoor shoe and I put it in, and then start with the mask. I take it out and put it here.
She's doing a striptease.
You see how? So with this protection on, I know for sure I don't bring anything home in my home. So, like right now, I'm ready to go outside and leave it. And when I get in the car, I using this to disinfect it myself. Like I can spray it on me on my tool. Give me a second. So I want to introduce this. See what I use for disinfection. So I'm gonna show everyone the screen.
You're on the screen. We can see you.
Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen to show you the infection that I use.
Oops.
Oh, wrong slide. This one.
Oh.
So what I'm using.
Oh dear. I know she's a little bit on the outskirts of Kingston, so.
Yeah.
Oh, we see it.
We see it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So like for me, I always searching for the way the cleaning, like the clean way to clean myself or clean my car or do the cleaning business. So I found this is really popular in Asia, and it's still very new to us. So what the ingredient in is just the water and the sea salt. So with the electric current, it will produce two different solutions for us to use. The one that I show is the electrolyzed water. It's called HOCl, hypochlorous. So the other name people may call it is the radical analyte or catalyte. So this water is widely used in Japan and Europe, and it is fairly new in Canada. After do the research, I found one business in London. They sell this product. And for myself, I am in process of getting certificate in Health Canada for use smuggling. So that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Fong. I'm sorry that you had some technical issues there. I know it's not easy depending on the technical aspect of where you are. So thank you for your time.
Thank you,
Thank
Fong.
you.
Yeah, she's a great supporter of ours. So, all right. So here we are. Let me just get back here. So we are delighted to have again Dominique Tremblay and of course Mike Hepburn. He's online with us as well and will be speaking. And he's the owner and founder of Your Social Strategy, and he was created in 2016. He felt there was a need for an affordable yet full service digital marketing service in Kingston. And we are so delighted to be working with Your Social Strategy in Kingston. They have been a great assistance to us since our project began. And we are so grateful that they are here. And we thank Mike, Dominique, and your entire professional team for all your assistance in doing these presentations for us, because they're important. Then we have Dominique, who works with clients to enhance their brand and building a strong community of business for their digital marketing needs. We had the pleasure of Dominique on March 31st when we began with all these presentations and keeping your business on top of mind. So we're thrilled to have her back again with this morning, as well as Mike. So the show is yours, Dominique and Mike. Go and do your thing.
Thank you, Gabby. So we also have a presentation we put together. So I'm going to share my screen so everyone can follow along. I think it's just easier that way. So and everyone can see this okay? Thumbs up if you can see it. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. So as Gabby mentioned, we're going to be talking about growing your business online and how to use paid advertising to do that. So we're going to be talking about Facebook advertising first, and then we're going to dive into pay-per-click advertising, which Mike will be presenting. Obviously, regardless of the industry that you do work in, paid advertising has benefits for everyone. And it's actually a really, really affordable way to be able to get your business seen and get your products in front of the right people. So just to kind of give you a very quick overview, we'll be talking about specifically what is Facebook advertising, some basic terminology you need to know, what the difference is between a boost and an ad, some marketing trends that are happening in 2020 that are really, really important, and then 5 of our tips to help you run a successful campaign on Facebook. And then we'll also, Mike will be covering, again, what is PPC, pay-per-click advertising, some basic terminology you need to know for that, understanding exactly how it works. He'll be answering some of our really common questions we get about PPC, and then he'll be sharing 7 tips to help you succeed on your next paid advertising campaign on Google. We do have a freebie that we're giving away as well for those interested. So if you've tried to run ads in the past and you feel like you're struggling, or you haven't yet because you're not really sure where to start, this is a really, really good one. With more than 1 billion daily active users, Facebook really offers a very broad range of targeting options that you really can't find anywhere else. So with what seems like an infinite combination of demographic, interests, behaviors, and really everything else, you can get as creative as you want in order to make sure that your ads are reaching your target market on Facebook and converting into tangible revenue. That being said, as I mentioned, if you're just starting to experiment with Facebook advertising, it can be pretty overwhelming because there are a lot of components to it. So we actually put together a document that details every Facebook targeting option that are available on Facebook as of 2020, which will help you give you the guidance that you need to set up your next ad campaign. So if you are interested in this freebie and you think it'd be beneficial to you, just type the word freebie in the comments and we'll send it to the ones that are interested. I know Gabby already gave a quick introduction about us, so I'm not going to go over this again because she did a great job introducing who we are. Mike, if you wanted to just talk a little bit about yourself, go into a little bit more detail of who you are, what you do, and then we'll get started.
Sure. Thanks, Dom. Again, thanks, Gabby and Josie, for giving us the opportunity to present today on this important topic, but also to everybody for listening in. I know we're all going through difficult times and hopefully we see the end in sight, but I appreciate the time that you're giving us today. Just a little bit about myself. I owned 2 technology companies that built software for the funeral industry. This is where it all began back in 1997. When I sold my final company in 2016, that's when I started Your Social Strategy. My idea was always to be an affordable option. I know there's other digital marketing companies out there, but they all seem to be priced fairly high on what I call in the Toronto market. So I wanted to make sure that we didn't sacrifice service, but provided a reasonable cost. So in doing so, I started up Your Social Strategy as a single person, kind of thought of it as a bit of a retirement type idea that I would work at it part-time, and now we've got 6 full-time employees and clients all across the world. I have people in Australia, Canada, US, and in the UK. So yeah, it's been exciting, and let's do it.
Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
So a little bit more about me. I've been working with Your Social Strategy for just under 2 years now. It'll be 2 years next month, actually. And it's been really, really rewarding to get to learn about the different industries we have right here in Kingston and to really see on a first-hand basis how important marketing is and really the impact it does to help businesses grow. I also help the team with some basic graphic design projects. So although we are a digital marketing firm, we do offer traditional marketing as well. All right, so to get started, just as a reminder, I know everyone's phones are already muted, just to avoid disruptions while we're presenting. And if you have any questions, we encourage you to ask them as they come up, just using the chat section, and we'll make sure to make some time to answer those at the very end. So part 1 of 2 is Facebook advertising. So what is Facebook advertising and how do we define that? So advertising on Facebook, really to summarize it, is really paying just to place a promotion and product offers in the newsfeed of a specific targeted audience on Facebook. Since Facebook gets tons of data from their users who enter it voluntarily on their profile, like your age, your location, your interests, Facebook is a pretty good idea of who their users are and what kinds of things that they like. Therefore, they can serve them targeted ads that show them products that they're likely to buy, sites they tend to like, or events they'd love to attend. Nearly all social media marketers, about 96%, consider Facebook advertising to be the most effective paid option out of all social networks. The ever-changing algorithm can make it really hard to connect organically with fans, but with Facebook's micro-targeting features, it allows you to reach your exact target audience. That means Facebook ads can get your message in front of the people who are most likely to want your products or services. So that's great for your budget, conversion rates, and return on investment. You really only pay to reach the most valuable potential customers. Oops. Sorry about that. I just clicked off of my presentation. There we go. Perfect. Oh, why is it doing this? Sorry, guys. Technical issue.
Don't worry.
There we go. Okay, it's because I had a link to the market research that I was sourcing it. So if you guys need more info when we send the presentation, you're welcome to read into it. But when you share a post on your business account, that content will be seen strictly by the people who follow your page. If it's shared from someone who follows your page, then their followers will see it. But considering the massive number of social media users, that amounts to a ton of missed opportunity. That's why paid advertising exists. That's what it's there for. They get your business in front of your target audience to boost exposure, grow your following, and improve your engagement rate, and lastly, generate leads. Paid ads are designed to get a specific message in front of the people who matter most to your business, who we call your target audience. Various social media platforms allow you to narrow down your audience based on a variation of demographics such as location, age, gender, and even specific interests or behaviors. Based on a budget that you set, you can create campaigns that have specific goals, which we call advertising objectives, and then create ads within those campaigns to help you reach those objectives. Your objective could be to build brand awareness. It could be to have somebody take a specific action on your website, like make a purchase or fill out a form. Your social media channel will distribute your ads to your target audience, and you will get charged on the impression. So how many people have seen the ad or how many clicks have been made on your ad. You get to choose that when you set it up. Ensuring that you target the correct audience and have the right metrics in place is crucial to make sure that you're getting optimal reach. So some basic terminology. I'm not going to read through all of these because there's quite a few, but as you'll see here, there's a lot of terminology that's important to know to make sure that you understand how ads work and why they work the way that they work. So we'll send this presentation to anyone who's interested after this meeting. I can send it to Gabby and Josie, and they can send it to you guys, or I can send it to you directly. But it is good to do a little bit of research to understand what everything means so that when you are setting up your campaigns, you understand what you want your end goal to be. So I'm going to just skip this. It's here. We'll offer you this information, but this is information that can be found anywhere, Facebook, Google. Anytime you do some research, you will see these really, really common terms. So boost versus ads. This is the biggest question that we get. There is a huge difference between the two, but all of the times there's confusion as to why would I boost an ad, why would I boost a post, why would I run an ad? So when you're marketing your brand on Facebook, you might not know which options are right for your brand's goals. If you're unfamiliar with the fine details of social media marketing, it can be really hard to nail down key decisions, like if you need to create an ad or if you need to just boost a post. So I'm going to go over the difference of the two. So the biggest difference between a Facebook ad and a boosted post is really what's behind the scenes. Facebook ads offer a much larger range of analytic options, offering different ways brands can track ad engagement and define campaign goals. On top of that, Facebook ads offer highly specific targeting options, allowing you to target ads to users by age, gender, location, interest, and so many more options. So to kind of summarize that is Facebook ads offers you a lot more possibility to target someone for who you want to see that ad. It's a lot more detailed. You have like an infinite number of combinations, so your results for people seeing your ad are going to be a lot more accurate. Facebook ads also have a much richer formatting option as opposed to regular boosted posts with options like carousel ads, slideshows, and all of that. So that allows your ads to be a lot more dynamic and allows users to be a lot more engaged with the ads that you're putting in front of them. A boosted post. So boosted posts are a lot less complex than a Facebook ad and are a little bit easier to get a handle on if you're using Facebook, just the news feed and you haven't been into Ads Manager and haven't experienced that yet. Unlike an ad, a boosted post is simply just a regular post that you would put on Facebook that you pay to reach a wider audience. This ensures that your post is seen by a larger number of users or seen more often by users who are likely to engage with its content. Facebook boosted posts have one key benefit over ads: free audience research. Most brands boost posts after they already have audience engagement data, making it possible to boost posts that they know perform well with their audience. Although running an ad campaign is typically the recommended method of advertising, boosting a post can often be useful to help your brand's vanity. I put that in quotations. It's a quick, easy, and affordable way to increase page likes if you're looking to just simply raise brand awareness. So, for example, if you're brand new to Facebook and you don't have a ton of following, doing a boost is a good way to take a post, maybe introducing your business and pushing that out to Kingston, just to raise brand awareness. That's your goal. That's it. You're not trying to generate leads. You just want more people to know about your business. So choosing between if you want to boost or if you want to run an ad. Really, it's going to depend on your end goal of what you want to do once the budget is spent. So each option encourages different outcomes. Facebook ads tend to have a bigger immediate impact and translate directly to campaign goals like capturing leads. If you have an app, getting people to install your app, and sales. Meanwhile, a boosted post tend to improve your brand's social media engagement and overall social presence. Really, the best way to tackle this is having a mix of boosted posts while running ads. It's the best way to kind of spend your marketing budget. Boosted posts will allow you to build your brand's reach and fan base, while ads can help you translate your brand's presence into tangible outcomes. This approach will allow you to build likes and fans, then turn those fans into actual customers. So on the right-hand side here, I have just very easy, you want to do a boost if, or you want to run an ad if. So if you are looking to increase page likes, get more comments on a post, increase shares on a post, or just overall increase your brand awareness, you're going to want to look at boosting a post. If you want to increase website conversions, video views, shop orders, or if you have an app and you want more people to download it, then you want to look at running an ad. So I have an example here of a boost versus an ad, what that looks like kind of behind the scenes. So if you look at both, which option kind of lets you, looking at this, obviously, which option looks like you have the more opportunities to maximize your ad spend? Boosting only really gives you the two options that you see here: website visits and engagement. Within Ads Manager, you can pick an objective and maximize it. So that's when you run an ad. You can say you want to raise awareness, you want to raise reach, traffic, engagement, conversions, and a ton of other options. So yes, you can improve your post reach with boosting, but that improvement is really only superficial. With boosting, your targeting options are really limited. Yes, you can choose behaviors and interest, demographics, and geography, but you can't use custom audiences. If you're looking to increase client leads and website conversions, then an ad is really the way to go. So my next topic for Facebook is 4 trends that every business needs to know in 2020. So this is what a lot of businesses are doing and they're seeing a lot of success from. So you may have already heard of some of these. If you haven't, now's a really good time to just do some experimenting and researching in these. So the first is chatbot marketing. Customers prefer being able to interact with businesses that can respond immediately and around the clock. Obviously, that's not realistic for you to be sitting and responding to messages around the clock. Typically, though, businesses that can provide this are able to retain interest and convert interest into paying customers more frequently. Many brands use chatbots for their service, marketing, and even for ordering their products. So all that is a chatbot system. A lot of people, we use it on our website. The minute you go to a website, you get a chatbot that pops up and we ask, how can we help you? It's just you reaching out to someone that's already interested in your services and getting your foot in the door. Personalization. Generic messages tend to annoy most people, while obviously personalizing your marketing efforts take a lot more time. Personalizing is really the biggest way to make yourself stand out from your competition. You should personalize your content, your products, and other marketing materials to your customers. Around 80% of consumers are more likely to buy from a business that offers a personalized experience. So that's a big number. Video marketing. Video marketing has always been really, really powerful, but now thanks to current technology, it's one of the most powerful marketing trends of the decade. Let's look at TikTok for an example. I know I've seen a lot of businesses that have been starting to use TikTok for marketing. That's a form of video marketing. TikTok is a video app. It is a social media platform, but with having cell phones and a camera, it's really at our fingertips, so people are able to be a lot more creative with creating videos and content. With the shift towards mobile devices, consumer attention spans just aren't the same as they used to. Images may not be enough to convey your full message, and text posts can get way too long to read. So video posts are the perfect way to get lots of information to your consumers without them losing interest. And then lastly is user-generated content. Now, this may not apply to every single industry, but if this applies to you, this is a really, really big one. Building a community is not something that you can really do over a short period of time. It's obviously a long-term investment of time and energy, but it can pay off really big. And one of the major benefits of building community is getting user-generated content. So that user-generated content may show customers using your products, and that they can then that can then be used to market them to the rest of your audience. You can do things like offer a discount for people who allow you to use their content, turning them into micro-influencers. This form of micro-influencer marketing is used across the globe and has been consistently a powerful and effective marketing strategy for many successful companies. Let's take a look at, we have Arbonne, Monat, all those companies, that's what they do, is they turn people into micro-influencers to market their products. So if you have a business where you're able, let's say you sell clothing, have your customers send you a picture of them in your clothing, something like that. That's user-generated content. So 5 tips to run a successful Facebook ad campaign. So tip number 1, experiment with audience targeting. So you can use audience targeting to create different ads for groups related to different business goals. So for example, you can speak to existing customers differently than you would to people who have never heard of your business before. You're going to want to approach them differently. You can also offer promotions based on your existing relationships. If you have a local business, you can target your audience by postal code. This is also helpful if you know that a particular city or neighborhood converts well. Use the Facebook pixel. So the Facebook pixel is a small piece of code that can have a really big impact on your Facebook ad campaign. Once you put that code on your website, it allows you to track conversions, remarket to people who have viewed a product on your website, and create lookalike audiences. So I'm sure we've all been targeted by a Facebook pixel before. If you've ever gone shopping online and then you're off of the website and you see ads that pop up, that's retargeting. And then you see it on your Facebook timeline, like, oh yeah, I was just shopping on Old Navy, now I'm seeing ads for it on my Facebook. They're using Facebook pixel, that's what that is. Use top quality photos and videos. So my biggest pet peeve is really blurry photo, or when somebody takes a video and it's really, really jumpy. And that's obviously going to be a big turnoff. If you're spending money to run an ad, you want to make sure that the quality of photos and videos that you're using is high quality. Obviously your words are important, but your visuals is the first thing that grabs people's attention. So you want to make sure that that leaves a good impression. So tip number 4, test, test, test. So it's really important not to make assumptions about what will work and what won't for your Facebook ads. The best practices for Facebook ads change all the time. So something that you were doing 6 months ago may not be as effective as now. So it takes a lot of time to kind of go in and adjust, but you have to continue to adjust your strategy. That's just how Facebook is. Only you know what works for your specific audience, and the only way you can keep that knowledge up to date is by testing. So the last tip is track and optimize performance. So closely monitor how your campaigns perform in the Facebook Ads Manager dashboard. If a campaign isn't performing well, put your money into an ad that is instead. If you're just starting out, it might make sense to run several ads with small audiences and budgets. Once you've determined what works best, use the winning ads as your primary campaign. You don't want to spend money if you put an ad together and it's not generating leads, it's not working. You want to take that budget and put it somewhere else, because then you're spending money on something that's not working. And that's it for part 1. So Mike is going to go into part 2, which is our pay-per-click advertising.
Thanks, Dom. Hopefully everybody got some great insight on some Facebook advertising and the differences between boosting and running an ad. I know that's a lot of the questions that, as Dominique said, we receive every day. Now to the next segment, we're going to talk about pay-per-click advertising and what really we're going to focus on Google with this. The opportunity is huge. As you know, most people are searching online for your product or service. And if you're not doing pay-per-click advertising, I think you're missing out on a huge opportunity. One of the questions we get asked a lot is it expensive? And of course it can be, but you get to control how much you're willing to spend. And that budget can be anywhere. And we'll get more into that in a couple seconds. So to start off with, what is pay-per-click advertising? It's a form of a search engine marketing tool in which advertisers display ads and pay a fee when one of their ads is clicked. Very important. Pay-per-click advertising does not cost anything unless your ad is clicked. So hopefully your ad is clicked a lot of times and it starts to cost, but we'll get into that a little bit later and with some testing. But yeah, you kind of want your ad to show up. It doesn't cost anything until it's actually clicked. In the simplest terms, it's buying visits to your website as opposed to trying to earn them organically. So that's also an important piece. So when people use us for their PPC management, one of the things that I explain to people is that PPC advertising is all about buying visitors to your site. It's about bringing people back to your website, and then hopefully your site does its job and gets people to buy or submit a form or whatever the case might be. So that's extremely important when it comes to pay-per-click advertising. Is it doesn't mean somebody's going to buy your service. It means somebody goes to your website. From there, does your website do its job? You've likely heard of Google Ads. This is the most important the most popular PPC platform and the one we'll focus on. You can also do the same advertising. It's almost exactly verbatim in Bing. But when you think about 92% of people use Google versus 8% use Bing, I think you know where to spend your money. Most businesses in most niches benefit hugely from pay-per-click advertising. Basically, if people would be looking for the products and services your business offers, and those people use the internet, you can benefit from PPC. So some basic terminology to kind of explain. This is important because when you go into the back end of Google Ads, you need to understand what each section represents. So we'll start off with a campaign. A campaign is a set of ad groups, ads, keywords, and bids that share a budget, location targeting, and other settings. Your account can have multiple campaigns running at once. So whenever I set up a campaign, I usually call it a search network campaign, because what we want to do is we want to appear when somebody does a search. The other alternative is called a display network. And those are ads that follow. I don't know if you've ever been on, I'm sure everybody's been on a website and an ad appears for something you've searched. Dominique did an example of in Facebook with Old Navy. Well, the same thing happens. Let's say you're on another website and an Old Navy ad appears. That's called display network advertising through Google Ads. So you can choose the name. I usually start with a search network, and then from in there you have your ad groups. Your monthly budget, the maximum amount of money you tell Google you want to spend across your campaigns per month. It actually works a little differently than a monthly budget. You do put in $150 a month, but it actually calculates it to a per day value. So even though you might say, I want to spend $100, it'll come up with $3.25 a day. And the reason it does that is it fluctuates a little bit day by day. One day it might be $3.50. The next day it might be $3. So it does do it on a per day basis, but you will never spend more than your full monthly budget. The impressions, a core performance metric that tells you how many times your ad has been shown. This is how many times the ad has been shown. It does not cost anything for an impression. How many times clicks? How many times someone has clicked on your ad? This is the one where you get a charge. So basically, it'll show you impressions, it'll show you clicks, which then translate to the next one, which is your click-through rate. The percent of people that click on your ad after viewing it. The formula to determine your CTR is the total number of clicks divided by the total number of impressions. The average click-through rate of Google Ads is 2%. Accordingly, anything over 2% is considered an above average CTR. So think about that. 100 impressions, 2 clicks, and you're on average. So it doesn't take a lot to get a number, but what we normally see when we manage people's accounts is a 3 to 4% click-through rate, which is really good. We manage a lot of funeral home Google Ads, and I find that we can get them up to about a 7%. But that's how you kind of measure whether things are working, is whether you're hitting that 2% threshold. If you're below it, then you probably need to change some verbiage in your ads. Cost per click, the price you pay Google each time someone clicks on your ad. The objective with cost per click is to keep it as low as possible. So remember, if you're running a $100 a month budget, that's $3.25 per day. If you get 1 click and it costs you $3.25, you just used up your entire budget, which means that your ad will not show up for the rest of the day. So you kind of want to monitor that. And unfortunately, Google actually gets to depict what the price will be, but the price is based on a number of factors like quality score, your keywords that you use, and most importantly, your targeted area. So if you use the words roofers in Kingston, they may pay $1 for an ad, but if you use roofers in Toronto, they may pay $15 for that same keyword. It's all about competitive. Conversion, the completion of a specific customer. Whoop, I just had my screen switch. Oh, back now. The completion of a specific customer action that you've defined as valuable to your business. Example, filling out a contact form or phoning your business. So one thing that you can install with your Google Ads is something called Google Tag Manager. Now it's complicated. I would recommend probably a digital marketing firm to do this for you. But once it's set up, it can track people that call your business from your ad. It can track by putting some code similar to Facebook Pixel, but you put the code also into your website, and it can track form submissions and people that call from your website as well. So you can instantly get a return on investment idea, how much you're paying out, now how much, how many conversions, and then you can divide the conversions by your payout and say, okay, how much am I, what's it cost me per, well, actually, that's the next point. The percentage of visitors that your website complete a desired goal out of the number of total visitors. So you can kind of get an idea of how much it costs for your conversion rate as well. Ad position, where your ad displays on the search results page, there are usually 7 to 10 paid ads per search results page. Position 1 refers to the top position of the first page of search results. When you do a Google search, directly below the search, and we're going to show an example of this in a few moments, you'll see that there will be 4 ad spots. And then below that might be the Google Maps, and then below that, organic search, and then below that, 3 spots for ads. So you really have between 7 to 10, mostly 7, opportunities to land on the main page. But in order to get to the top, which we'll get into a little bit later with strategy, that's the objective, is to get into the top 4 positions, ideally the top position. Landing page, the web page that users land on after clicking your ad. This is critical. So the old days of Google Ads is you'd create an ad and you landed on your home page and everything would work. But now which goes to the point below, I'll bring it in as well, is your quality score, which is Google's rating of the quality and relevance of both your keyword and your PPC ads. So your landing page should be very relevant to the ad and the keywords used within that ad. So if I do roofers in Kingston and I click on that and I go to a page that has very little to do with roofers in Kingston, then the chances are I'm not going to be pleased, I won't like the ad, and Google will reflect upon that. But if I go to roofers in Kingston and I go to a page all about a roofing company here in Kingston that talks about what I'm looking for, then that becomes a high quality score, very relevant, which then is important for getting that ad to the top of the list. Also, your quality score will determine your cost per click. So one of the things that I always recommend to people is, if you think you're paying too much in your cost per click, the easiest way to decrease that is by improving your quality score. Making that ad more relevant will make the cost per click cheaper. All right, so understanding how PPC works. As the advertiser, you bid for ad placement in a search engine sponsored links. In Google, that sponsored links are the first 3 to 4 search results and the last 2 to 3 when someone searches for a keyword related to your business. Google Ads uses an auction to determine whose ads to serve and in which spots. That auction is in milliseconds. It's amazing what that technology happens. So when you type in roofers in Kingston and you hit go, immediately there's an auction that takes place, which, you know, kind of, well, actually, I'll read the example. If you need to get your roof done and you go to Google and search for roofers in Kingston, the local roofing companies using Google Ads who are bidding on those words will end up showing up in the sponsored ad spot. So it's important, again, as a roofer in Kingston, making sure that we're running PPC, we're running the proper keywords, the proper ads, making sure we're landing on a relevant page in our website, and those are called landing pages, and everything then should work, and hopefully we get to the top position. So how does the auction work? When someone searches, the Google Ads system finds all ads whose keywords match the search. From those ads, the system ignores any that are not eligible, like ads that target a different country or disapprove based on policy violation. So one of the things that you can do with Google Ads is you can actually, similar to Facebook advertising, you can drill down an audience. You can say, I want to only target people in Kingston, or I want to target only people outside of Kingston. Maybe I want to target those that have an interest in Kingston but live outside of Kingston. There's so many options when it comes to what you want to set up as your targeted audience. Of the remaining ads, only those with a sufficiently high ad rank may show. Ad rank is a combination of your bid, ad quality, which is your quality score, and the ad rank thresholds, the context of the person's search, and the expected impact of extensions and other ad formats. It's important to remember that even if your competition bids higher than you, you can still win a higher position at a lower price with highly relevant keywords and ads. So, Dom, can you bring up the that Google search page for a moment? I just want to show an example.
Let me just, oops. Just trying to find a way to exit out of this. Okay, perfect. So
we're searching for roofers in Kingston. So the auction is happening and it just finished. So we can see here there is 4 ads at the top. So Friendship Roofing wins the auction. Then we have 3 other ads. You can see the verbiage, Roofing Done Right, Moffat Brothers Roofing. So you want to use keywords in your results. If you can just scroll down the page slowly, there's the Google Maps. So if anybody does not have their Google My Business listing, this is important. That's that area. Below that is your organic search results. And then below that at the very bottom is 3 additional ads that didn't win the top auction, but they still show up. And you can see that they've all used keywords of roofing, and in this case, sometimes even Kingston's roofing. But one thing that I wanted to highlight, go to the very top again, Dom. You can see here under Roofing Services Kingston, family owned and operated, very targeted, family owned and operated. It's not a corporation. I might like that. But why I feel they won the auction is because of the gallery and the contact us. Those are called extensions. So not only do you get to build an ad, but you can add extensions to that ad. And you can add extensions to a specific ad. You can say, I want to run extensions to all ads. So the more you utilize with Google Ads, then I think the better chances you are to win above everybody else. So as you can see below all the other ads, they don't have extensions running. This guy does. Chances are that's why he's winning. And maybe he sees another 5 to 10 roofing jobs this summer because of that. All right, let's go back to the presentation. All right, let's answer our most common PPC questions. I've heard PPC is expensive. Is that true? Well, it can be, but the great thing about PPC is that you set the exact budget you're comfortable spending each month. You can spend $5,000 a month in an ad spend, or you can spend $150 a month. You're in complete control of your budget, and it can be adjusted at any time. That's important. So don't feel like you're locked in. You can adjust it, which you should be adjusting quite frequently, actually. Typically, a click in Google Ads is between $1 to $3. However, highly competitive industries like insurance can be quite pricey, seeing certain keywords spend upwards of $50 for a single click. I have a funeral home client in Calgary, Alberta that spends $3,300 a month in ad spend. His average click when somebody types in funeral services or funeral homes is roughly $30 a click. So you can see that if I take that same keyword and apply it to Kingston or even Gananoque, that probably is going to be $1, maybe $1.50 here in Kingston. So same keywords, two different market landscapes, two different prices. What kind of budget should I use? This is hugely important. People always ask this question because they're always fearful of, oh my God, how much is this going to be? Most business owners already know how much they can allocate to online advertising. So that's the starting point. You must figure out the amount you'd be comfortable spending first. Then you can use the keyword planner in Google Ads to search the keywords you would want to use to see who the highest range cost and a low range cost. So in Google Ads, they actually have a tool called the keyword planner that you can actually type what you think people are going to search for, and it will tell you how much they think it's going to cost you and how competitive that keyword is. So it's called keyword research. And you can then determine, okay, it's going to cost $3 a click. Well, you know what? At $3.25 a day, we're going to use our budget up in one click. Probably need to raise that budget up. This will give you an idea of what you can expect to pay per click so you can figure out what your money you may want to get in terms of clicks. How often should I monitor my budget? In the beginning, it's good to keep an eye on where your money is going to ensure what you're spending is getting you qualified leads. After all, return on investment is the key here. You can scale back or increase your budget anytime, so after you found your comfortable budget, checking on it every couple of weeks should be perfectly fine. An important note, while your spend may vary each day, you will never pay more than your set monthly budget. So that's a critical way we look at it is we actually review our customers' budgets on a weekly basis, and we are monitoring the cost per click versus budget. So we want to monitor if it's cost, as I mentioned, if it's costing you $3 a click and you have a $3.25 budget, we're going to be talking about increasing that budget. If we see that your $3 cost per click, but your quality score on your ad is a 2, we're landing to a page that doesn't have enough information. So there's ways that we look at, it's not just about raising and lowering budget, maybe adding content to your page. What kind of keywords would I use? Choosing the right keywords to use is crucial to the success of your PPC campaign. Your keywords should match the terms your potential customers would use to find your products and services. To start your list, you need to think like a customer. Compile a list of the keywords and search terms you would use when looking for your product or service online. For example, if you sell activewear, think of all the ways someone could search for activewear. Activewear, gym clothes, yoga pants, workout clothes, yoga attire, gym attire. You can break your keywords into groups called ad groups to show more relevant ads to the user, which greatly helps with the quality score. Example, you have an ad group for yoga clothes, where all your keywords are related to yoga clothes, not running or general gym clothes. You can then tailor your ad verbiage to have yoga. in it, which speaks directly to your customer and lets them know you have exactly what they're looking for. I'll give you another example. We typed in roofers in Kingston. Well, what if I said, I want metal roofers in Kingston? That could be a different ad group with verbiage specific to metal roofing that lands to a page within my website that's all about metal roofing. So that's an example of defining down your keywords into a specific ad group. Now, 7 tips to set you up for success. Number 1, you got to choose a budget that you're comfortable with. If you, and that goes to the competitiveness and doing that keyword research. If you're working with a digital marketing company, that's where they start. So they'll go through that, which is your second part. You research your keywords using the free keyword planner from Google. I'm going to tell you, probably in Kingston, and if you're in Gananoque or Brockville, Belleville, it's going to be cheaper, and the searches are not going to be as high quantity. So you might find that, you know, a keyword that you think is popular might only get 10 searches a month. But it's that 10 searches that you're after. So, you know, think of it in that terms. Always experiment with different verbiage. Change up titles and descriptions to see what works. One thing that you should always do, and I learned this from Google early on, is within an ad group, you can create individual ads. You should always have a minimum of 3 ads per ad group. So back to roofers in Kingston or metal roofers in Kingston, I would have 3 different ads with different verbiage, and then I would monitor those ads to see which ones are working and which ones are not. If it's getting you 0 clicks but 100 impressions, you got to change the verbiage. It's not working. Something is not enticing people to click your ad. Look at the search terms report. Use it to add negative keywords and as a tool to find new keywords. We haven't really touched on negative keywords, but you can actually take keywords that people are searching and getting your ads, but you don't want to appear for those keywords. Those are called negatives. I'll give you an example. One of my clients in Toronto is a cremation business. He's getting a ton of pet cremation, dog cremation, cat cremation searches. He doesn't do pet cremations. So he doesn't want to waste any opportunity on pet or dog or cat cremations. So, because if somebody sees his ad and then clicks it, it just cost him $5. So that we would treat as a negative keyword. So his ad doesn't actually come up when somebody searches those terms. Use ad extensions to make your ads more clickable. Huge. I guarantee you should always use the call extension. That's where it plugs your phone number in for every ad. Ensure you use the geolocation settings for your campaign. You can choose the areas you want your ads to show in. For example, only Kingston and a specific kilometer radius. You can also exclude certain areas if needed. So again, if we are a Kingston-based business, we're only servicing Kingston, we're not going to Gananoque or to Belleville, then you might want to say target Kingston in 7 kilometers or 8 kilometers around. And what's nice with it is Google actually presents a map, and I'll show you a circle so you can see exactly, oh shoot, we're covering Gananoque, maybe we want to lower it down a little bit, or maybe we want to include Gananoque because we service that area. Something to remember, consumer habits are changing at a rapid rate, and that means marketers and entrepreneurs have to reconsider the way individuals want to shop and why. When it comes to social media, Facebook remains the undefeated champion. Based on the stats, Facebook is the leading social platform, reaching 60.6% of internet users. Facebook has 2.45 billion monthly active users. If that number doesn't blow you away, it also has 1.6 billion users that are visiting the social networking site on a daily basis. I always say when I talk about this with prospective customers, yeah, 1.62 billion is impressive, but think about how many in Kingston. How many, I always say women because I've seen this many, many times, where they're surfing through on their phone while they're trying to kill time or whatever. Men do the same thing. We're always on our phones. We're scrolling through our news feed. So think about all the opportunities you have to get in front of those people. This means that users were visiting at least one of Facebook's core products, which includes Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, or Messenger. Facebook first hit 1 billion monthly active users in October 2012, and crossed the 2 billion active user mark almost 5 years later in 2017. 75% of people say paid search ads make it easier to find the information they're searching for on a website or search engine. 1/3 of those people clicked on a paid search ad because it directly answers the query. Remember, those paid ads are above organic in Google Maps. So you get first impression, first opportunity. On average, 41% of clicks go to the top 3 paid ads on the search results page, and businesses make an average of $2 in income for every dollar spent in Google Ads. Everyone here at YSS is here to offer support and advice while we face the pandemic. As always, feel free to reach out to us for any questions you have or advice you might need on your marketing plan. Feel free to contact Dominique. Her email is there. Mine is mike@yoursocialstrategy.com. If you have any questions, let's answer them.
Hey, I'm going to bring up the chat. Let's see what comes up here.
I was able to make a note, Josie or Gabby, of everyone that said they were interested in the freebie. So I have that information.
Yes, well, everyone's interested.
Perfect.
First of all, I wanted to say, wow. And we are so thrilled that you are here in Kingston, because someone said to me a long time ago when I started my business back in 1998 was, you can't be everything to everybody. Focus on what you're good at and get help with the rest. And this is my advice for everyone that's online, because Josie and myself, we're focusing on the growth of our business. The social media is a huge part of that. And as I said, we are delighted to be working with you. So any of those, because it's a lot of information and you're the specialist in that field. We're not. We have a basic knowledge, or Josie probably has more than I do. She's very good. But I'm just saying that I really urge you, if you are looking at improving your business, your awareness, your brand, is to reach out to Mike and Dominique, your social strategy. They're a great organization and they have a tremendous amount of knowledge to share. So I'm really thrilled that they're here, and I thank you both for the in-depth information that you just provided. It is very well, we need it, we all need it, but we're also glad that you're here because, you know, as I said, Josie and I, we're about growing the business. And as I said, you cannot be everything to everybody. It can be overwhelming. And what happens, it takes away from your growth of where you want to be.
Yeah, no, I agree. And kind of like we pointed, digital marketing changes all the time. So when you're trying to run a business, that's your focus, and it can take a lot of time to try to perfect, if there's such a thing, your digital marketing strategy. Like Facebook changes constantly. Every time I go in there to run a different ad, something's changed, something's moved. So we get it, like that's what we do, and it sometimes can be even overwhelming for us, and that's what we do. So that's why like we're constantly researching what's new, what's changing. So for a business that isn't always involved in that, it can be super overwhelming. So that's why like we're really happy and thankful that you gave us this opportunity, and we're all small businesses, we're all trying to do the best we can. So any way we can help, we're definitely happy to do that.
And right now it's so important too that we do support one another and support the local businesses. That's why Josie and I are doing this for the last 8 weeks, is to showcase those businesses. And you know, things will change. It will be a different normal. We don't know. We only get what everybody else gets. But again, we're thrilled that you're here, and we thank you for. We'll send you the list, and you just send it out to everybody, because I think it's important information for them to have, and also to connect with you directly for any questions, because you're the pros.
And yeah, I can see some of the questions here. I think honestly, most of them will be answered with the freebie tool. It highlights every Facebook targeting option that's available if you want to run an ad. So I know there was a question by Ashley who was asking, how do you target to get specific users to your business to follow your Facebook page? The first thing is going to be identify who your customers are. On average, is it men or women that are buying your product? What age range are they typically in? That gives you kind of a good starting. If I'm, for example, let's say I sell lingerie, I'm going to target women a lot more than I'm going to target men. Obviously, I'm sure there's men out there that still, you know, purchase that stuff, but generally it would be women. And then what's my age demographic? So that freebie tool highlights like literally every option that is available. So take a look at that. And then if you guys have other questions, email me. I have no problem setting up a quick phone call and answering your questions. Like Gabby said, this is kind of a strange time, and it's great that everyone here is taking a little bit extra time to focus on the marketing side of things. So if we can help and answer questions, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, and I think the key is, and no matter what business you're in, is really knowing who are you going to target? Who do you want as your customer? You need to start there. You got to build a foundation of where's your head at? What business do you want? Just to go in and just say, you got to be very strategic on what you want. Because only then is how you can help more strategically on your end. Correct? I think that would be awesome. So I know that, so thank you both again. And I know Josie has some announcements to make. Josie, your show is yours.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. I also want to thank you both very much, because you also have a great, of course, expertise in your field. It would take too long for most of us as small business people to learn this and get the hang of it the way you do. But also, it's, you know, what I love is that you both understand the small to medium-sized business owner and what they're going through, like you're in our head. So you get that, which is much easier to work with somebody with your expertise here locally than, let's say, a larger media company in a larger city. So I'm very grateful that you're here.
Thank you.
Yay. So a couple of announcements for next week. Next Tuesday, I hope many of you can join us. We're very excited. For those of you who may have come to one of our events last year, you may have met Sarah Jen Corelli from, she's a co-founder of Wild Idea Company in Ottawa. So that will be Tuesday, May 19th, same time, 10:30. She will be talking about compassionate branding in a time of crisis. So very timely. She is an awarded brand strategist, copywriter, instructor, entrepreneur, mom. It's a brand consulting company and creative studio based in Ottawa. Very talented woman. So we really hope that you can attend. The special sponsor for that, by the way, will be Kingston Framework. So Colin will be with us for a little bit. On May 26th, and please put this in your day timers, we're very excited about this. We are delighted to welcome back again to Kingston from Toronto, Claudia Harvey, Dragon's Den slayer, global entrepreneur, investor, speaker, influencer, kid you not, best-selling author, philanthropist, and a proud mom of 3. We had the great privilege of welcoming Claudia in late 2018 for 2 very important presentations. One to the Canadian Forces Base here in Kingston, the military, for those in transition, and of course to our own Women Mean Business network of leaders. So her topic is going to be strategies to pivot sales during very turbulent times. You have to understand, she owns, it's Diggit Gardening. That's what, Mr. O'Leary invested in her company, and honestly, she's gone global. So she would be a good person to listen to in ideas on how to pivot your sales during these interesting times. So please, we'll have that up by today on our website and Eventbrite link for both. So please go take a look sometime this afternoon and register. It's free to register. And let's see, I want to thank you again, Fong McNeil. I hope you're still there. Thank you so much, my dear, for that presentation. Appreciate it. She's definitely your cleaning specialist here. And thank you so much to Mike and Dominique again. This was very insightful, very helpful. So we're looking forward to that freebie ebook that you've put together for us as well. So I appreciate that very much. We all do. And Gabby, my dear, was there anything you wanted to add?
I just wanted to say thank you to all those come on who've been joining us over the last 8 weeks for our presentations and how we all come together to help one another. And I see some new people that came on, and there's a few new people, but I want to just mention hello to Arthur Dolan, who's the first time he's been with us. So welcome, Arthur. And again, you're all welcome. We are so privileged to have a great community here, great leaders and great businesses, and a lot of expertise here. So thank you. Everyone have a great week, and we'll see you next Tuesday. at 10:30 for the next one. We carry on. Thanks again,
Thanks
Mike and
again.
Dominique.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.